Dragons rule the skies of Hazoret. Kels is a knight in the course of the kingdom of Tarrant in northern Hazoret. He is charged personally by the king of the land, Jehoshaphat, to rescue the king's daughter, Nina, from the clutches of one particularly devious dragon, who is holding the princess ransom for a treasure the king doesn't possess. The tiger's eye, which is in the possession of a private collector, and the collector won't sell. Thus the only option is to slay the dragon. Kels is riding his raptor to the dragon's lair with a sword on his back and a shotgun on his hip. Kels is ready for action. He arrived at the mouth of the volcanic lair of the dragon Xeranex, sword in hand. He hewed his way through some vines covering the entrance and into a large room. As Kels made his way into the large room, the door slammed shut behind him. Two doors opened across from him, and goblins began to flood the room. One lunged at him, and another came at his ankles. He sliced the first in twain, and shoots the other in the face. Two more came at his sides, while yet another jumped and latched onto his head. Kels swung his blade and beheaded one, which fell to its knees, squirting purple blood all over the room, while the other was cut in the abdomen. Its entrails quickly gushed out, as yet more blood pooled under its body. Then Kels ran backward, slamming the goblin attached to his head against the wall. The goblin fell to the floor in a daze, and Kels finished it with buckshot. Two more goblins came out, but looked in horror at the carnage. They turned around and ran as fast as they could from the knight and that blade. That damned blade! The goblins escaped, and Kels thanked his lucky stars, though soon they came back, on fire. Dropping dead at Kels' feet, Kels found his way forward and went down the cave tunnel. Soon he was upon a great room full of treasure. And at the top of the pile was Princess Nina, clothing and hair singed but otherwise okay. She started to run towards Kels, but was stopped by a three-fingered red claw. Another would descend from the darkness and lift her off the ground as a draconic head with a long beard descended from above. Its mouth opened as Kels looked on in horror, and it bit down on the princess, ripping her in two. It devoured her other half. Kels was enraged, and he lunged at the dragon with his sword, cutting its face. Then he jumped back and opened fire with his shotgun. The dragon was not amused. It grabbed Kels and bit his head off, let out an almighty roar, and flapped its mighty wings. It took to the skies, carrying Kels' headless body along. It soon arrived at the castle and dropped Kels' body before the king. He vomited the princess and Kels' head in the courtyard. Jehoshaphat jumped in fury and agony as soon the dragon Xeranex took a mighty breath and engulfed the whole castle in a baptism of fire. No one survived, and soon he began to do the same to the surrounding town. As the town burned, goblins began looting and pillaging in the carnage. Xeranex found the private collector and ate him, taking everything. From then on, for millennia afterwards, Xeranex ruled the land with an iron claw, and they all lived miserably ever after. That was how one man's avarice doomed a populace. The end? Don't be so sure.